We're live, y'all, fam. Aren't you tired of feeling like you're always on trial, right? That the moment you step out the door, white folks are clocking your every move, waiting for you to slip up so they can weaponize the police to prove what they've already decided about you before they even knew your name. And to top it all off, now they're straight up killing us in the name of capitalism. Oh, what? What y'all didn't know? Wait, let me see the comments. Y'all didn't know. Where are the comments at? Y'all, they are talking about rolling back regulations on ethylene oxide. You know, that cancer-causing gas, right? That was outlawed, right? Now they want to start dumping it back into our communities. Y'all, they're literally trying to poison us for corporate profits. And yet, too many of us are still sitting around waiting for normal to come back.
Is it coming back?
Baby, that normal was never good enough, never promised for us.
Right? Yeah. Today, fam, we're discussing what's happening in Louisiana and Tennessee, why environmental rollbacks matter to Black communities, and why this moment requires a mental revolution, and why Black Americans need a new money philosophy based on freedom, based on options, and based on global thinking. And then we're going to introduce the Utopian Money Principles. And yes, we've captured the principles on a doc that you can download.
First, let's go ahead and introduce ourselves. Hey, y'all. My name's Holise.
And I'm Rick. Welcome to our Black Utopia.
Yes, on our channel, we talk about money. We talk about travel and life abroad. We talk about building real options, y'all, in uncertain times. Because, you know, back in 2018, we got a wake-up call. We were getting close to retirement age. We looked at our finances, and they looked cray-cray. But we changed our entire way of thinking about money and went from negative 22,000 to over 1.1 million in net worth, not through luck, but through strategy, right? Through a bit of sacrifice, through thinking differently. So today we're saying, Black America, we need an entirely new way of thinking.
Yeah. So put this in the chat. Do you think African Americans are still waiting for America to become something it has never been? Put in a yes or a no.
Let us know. And I want everyone to show some love to Action VJ. And I don't know if Greta is in the chat. Let us know. It seems to me Black folks do not have the sense of urgency that they need to have. And we're gonna talk about this. Today is Legend Thursday. Every day is Legend Thursday. We did it every day. Every Thursday we've been bringing on legends. All right, so we're gonna bring on legends. It's in the post, y'all. If you are a legend and you are in the audience in the chat, if you're watching from the future, hey, I hope the future's great. Let us know. Let us know in the comments, right? Do you think Black folks are waiting for America to become something that it has never, ever, ever been? Yes or no?
Hasn't been that way at all.
Yes or no, right? All right, let's bring Ailey on the stage. How you doing, Ailey? Hey. Hello to all the Utopian family. We see you in the chat, all the members. Shout out to the Utopian legends and all of the Utopian channel members. All right. Lee is cooking in her house while she's on there. All right, here we go. The system is telling us the truth. All right, so let's start here. The Supreme Court decision, y'all know, because we talked about it last week or the week before last, right? Right after they did it, right? The Supreme Court decision that weakened protections for Black majority, Black districts, right? Basically eviscerated the Second Amendment or the second clause in the Voting Rights Amendment, right? And so, was it like the next day?
It was immediately.
Or the same day that Louisiana moves to redraw the maps. Now, y'all know Louisiana is 1/3 us folk, right? They get 6 seats, 6 congressional seats. That means that 2 of them seats should be represented by people from a majority Black district. Okay, I'm not saying the representatives have to be Black. If the Black folks down there choose somebody who's not Black, they choose somebody who's not Black. But they should have a concerted, they should be able to choose who they want as a group because they have similar needs. See, that's the thing. And the Supreme Court acts like they don't know what the F they're doing. They know good and well. They know good and damned well. When you draw congressional maps, the point is that you put people with like interests into the same group. A lot of times that has to do with what they live near, et cetera, right? So if some stuff is going down that they don't like, they can come together as a group because everybody is affected, like dumping some chemicals in your community or building one of those data centers, right? But when they're dumping it in our neighborhood, in our area, in our community, and then they're taking the district and splitting it in 3, right? So 100,000 people get split up 33,000, 33,000, 33,000 among 3 districts. How are they going to fight to get that crap out of their community? See, they think they're slick. They're playing in our faces and they think we don't understand the law. These MFs in the Supreme Court have lost their ever-loving mind. They're out of control and they're corrupt and they need to go. They need to go. Because we're going to turn around and there's not going to be a United States left. Now, look, I'm not trying to save something that does not deserve to be saved. But on the other hand, everybody who is, well, not everybody, but most of the folks who are watching us have our money, our investments tied up in the United States, number one, not number one, but one point. And another point, our families are there, right? So this is some bull. You see what happened in Tennessee. In Memphis, I think, is the highest per capita Black city in the United States, I believe. I remember reading that, okay? Either way, we know Memphis is Black. It's blackity black. And they are stripping them. They are stripping them of their seat, okay? Not only that, in the state house, and this is why it's important to vote in every election. I know we talk about travel money and life abroad, but you can't have a good life abroad if the one passport that you have, that the folks over there are going crazy. So we have to know, no matter where we are on the planet, as long as we only have one passport, what the hell they're doing over there. That's what we need to do, all right? So in Tennessee, in Memphis, they stripped the Black Democratic state reps of their committee positions for protesting the BS maps that they're putting out. These MFs had the sergeant at arms keeping folks out, keeping representatives out of the committee houses, from the floor, while they were taking votes and doing all this stuff with the maps. Now, if we had a real DOJ, that stuff would not, everybody be locked up. Everybody be locked up. Black political power gets eviscerated, all right? It is getting eviscerated. They know the majority of Black political power is in the South, and the South is happy to capitulate to the melon felon and demolish our power. They did not wait. That's right. That's how you know they were ready.
Yeah.
And while that's happening, the administration is also talking about rolling back these regulations. Come on now. What the hell are we doing? So let's stop pretending that these things are separate. They are all about power, who has it and who doesn't, who is protected and who is expendable. Ailey, what say you? You are muted. No, you're unmuted. You're unmuted. You have something to add?
Can you hear me now?
We can hear you.
I just was watching a video today that was on YouTube, and they are building a in this county. A girl, she wound up getting kicked off of TikTok for mentioning that they are literally taking their houses. You know, like I forgot that law that you call that the government can strip your property.
Eminent domain.
Yeah, that. And took the houses of some of these older folks who had houses from generations and decided to take them from them just to build that data center and sold them for pennies on the dollar.
See?
They're feeling it now, what we went through. And that's what I think. I mean, because, you know, if they're doing it to white folks, you know, well, they're going to do it to us with the quickness now.
Exactly. It's crazy. It's crazy what's going on. All right, we're going to go ahead and get to point number 2.
So here's the thing. Most people don't want to talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
The majority of Black people were not riding with Malcolm X, and the majority of Black people were not out marching with MLK. Most people were trying to keep their heads down, go to work, pay their bills, and hope things got better. Does that sound familiar? Now, fast forward to today, because, you know, here with the Utopian Sinkova tribe,
Mm-hmm.
we know that we must look back at our history in order to prepare for today. Everybody loves MLK quotes. Everybody posts Malcolm X clips. But back then, a lot of people called them troublemakers. Oh, they're radicals. Oh, they're divisive.
Yep.
The same thing happens today when people say, hey, maybe we need to think globally.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we need to be Pan-African. Maybe we should stop defending a country in its system that keeps failing us. Folks keep their heads down.
Mm-hmm. They keep their heads down.
And
see, this is the thing that people forget. And we've talked about this before, right? Only 3.5% to 4% of folks get involved with making change. And everybody else gets to reap the benefits. It's crazy. But see, if that's the case with protests, is it the same case when it comes to dealing with reality? Because what I see is too many folks with their head in the sand. Too many folks with this nostalgic view, right?
Mm-hmm.
Of, you know, seeing Thurgood Marshall on the Supreme Court, right? This nostalgic view of when, you know, all these Black shows that venerated us, that were like, you know, not nonsense, were coming on air. Remember them days?
Oh, yeah.
Them days, like it started with Julia, right? And I know Bill Cosby is problematic, but the Cosbys and everything in between, Good Times, all that stuff. Say what you will. Black folks was making money because behind the scenes they were working too, right? And so we had our heyday. And I think folks forgot that power concedes nothing without struggle. Too many folks are keeping their heads down. Ailey, what say you?
Well, the reason why I think that people are keeping their heads down is because if they're like me, I'm staying out of trouble and trying to keep, you know, raise my money and get the heck out of Dodge. I mean, some people see the writing on the wall, and
Right.
maybe they're doing that. I particularly hope that they're doing that. But if they're not, I'm hoping they are planning and strategizing to what can happen, like having legal representation, because you're going to need that in America if you're going to stay here right now. You're going to need to wind up having building community by getting to know who's in your neighborhood so that you'll be able to know who's got your back right now if you're going to be staying here.
Right.
Right.
We've got to start moving through the world differently. And we're going to talk about that. Okay. The money principles are not just about money and how to handle money. It's also how to think about it and how to operate within our community. See, there was a time we had our own amusement parks. We had our own national type parks. We had our own beaches. We had our own hotels. We had our own everything because they did not want us in their stuff. What happened to those people? What happened to those wealthy Black folks who were entrepreneurial in the days where everything was segregated? See, we never got fully integrated. We just got desegregated, right? The American dream is dead on arrival, folks. We need a mental revolution, not just a political one, not just a financial one, a mental one. Seriously, because growing up in America with that propaganda where you get up every day and you put your hand across your heart and you say these words before you even know what love means, that you are pledging allegiance to something. Do you even know at 5 and 6 years old what allegiance means? Okay. And I'm saying that to say that shit runs deep. It runs deep, and it's really hard to exercise the American propaganda from your psyche, right? Too many of us are still trying to win a game that we never even got the rule book to, much less the cheat code, John, right?
None of it. None
right?
of it.
The original foundation of America was built on white supremacy, land theft, enslavement, resource extraction, and not just in America, but around the world, right? Around the world, they have colonized and extracted and pillaged in the name of democracy? I don't know. I don't know what nonsense they putting out there. But when we say stupid stuff like, they hate us, maybe it is because you murdered their last 2 elected officials, right? While our people lied to us, just like Pam Bondi sat up there and called them folks in Minneapolis domestic terrorists. Blood still wet. You see how they do? Body's still warm, right?
Yeah.
But they're domestic terrorists. They lie. They lie. And we have grown up hearing these lies. And so it's time for us to deconstruct and realize that we're kind of like prisoners of war, right? Because we keep loving up on our abusers. And it's time to get out of that abusive cycle. So here's the deal, right? Just because we look at our cousin and we look at our cousin and them, right? We look at our allies in our life and think, there's good people here. There's good people here, right? True.
Yeah.
But we've got to stop romanticizing what the United States is. We really do, y'all. And start asking, what does freedom look like outside of this framework, right? That's what we need to start asking ourselves. Because at the end of the day, there's no way that we can thrive on a foundation built on white supremacy, built on land theft, built on enslavement, and built on resource extraction. It cannot be done. Nothing positive can come out of that kind of negative. Let's keep it going, and then we'll come back to A-Lee.
So maybe the goal is not to fix America. Maybe the goal is to build better lives wherever we can, to build peace, flexibility, savings, mobility, community,
Yes.
and multiple income streams. Global options may be the new dream, isn't about making it inside the system. Maybe the new dream is reducing how much control the system has over your life.
Maybe the new dream should be reducing how much control that oppressive white supremacist system has over your life.
Yeah.
Okay? All right. Before we introduce the principles, A-Lee, is there anything you want to add? We're going to pull the principles up.
I hate to say it, but I can't find that sheet that you were talking about in your.
It's okay. We're going to pull it up on screen. I think she froze, or did we freeze?
Can you see me now?
We can see you.
Oh,
okay.
that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I was looking for.
Yeah. So we have this down in the description below. Okay.
It is.
It's free, y'all. It's free. Okay. And so y'all, most of our stuff is free. We're not as good a capitalists as we need to be, especially in these times. Like, we could have been a little bit more lackadaisical about it had they voted for the Black Indian woman, but they did not.
With the funny laugh.
With the funny laugh. All right. All right. We're going to have to bring this up on big screen so we can see it and take this off. Wait, only visible to you. Wait, hold on. We got, y'all, let me tell you something. These eyes are not as young as they used to be. So I'm going to have to bring this up on big screen so I can show you guys. Okay. So this is what we came up with. And, we have been putting together principles from different places. And so I figured it's time to pull this together and put it in a framework that speaks to our community, because moving forward with the world being the way it is, and with white supremacy telling us, yeah, we gonna keep fighting. That's what we gonna do. We gonna keep fighting them, man. So, okay, we need to go back to the thinking that we had when we had those Black hotels, when we had those Black beaches, when we had those Black restaurants and all of that, when we had Black Wall Streets all around the country. We are going to need to go back to that. So let's talk about these principles. We're going to go over all of them all in a row, not really fast, but as fast as we can, and then we'll talk about them. I want everybody to download and share this. Share the link, okay? Share the link with your friends and family, because we have got to start thinking more cohesively and strategically. So number one, Sankofa stewardship. Go back and fetch it. Track your money intentionally and learn from your past decisions, okay? Now, this may seem obvious, but for those of us who are still spending too much, the main takeaway from this that I want you to do is to start physically with a paper, like this, not in the phone, no, physically write down every single penny that you spend. Because then you're going to have to start thinking about it, right? It's going to have to be a conscious decision, and you're going to start seeing the patterns. Financial freedom starts with awareness and reflection. The next one is Harambe wealth.
Pull together. Reduce waste and maximize what you already have through community and resourcefulness.
So the biggest takeaway from this that I want you to remember, treat waste as something shameful to be minimized. Food waste, item waste, money waste. All right? It's time for us to stretch the value of every single penny. So the core principle, collectively, efficiency and minimizing waste builds long-term wealth and maximizes values from what you already have. From what you already have, right? We get so caught up in what we want. We get so caught up in tomorrow, right? And what we're going to earn and when we get to this place and that place. Let's maximize the value on what we already have. Number 3, kidogo, kidogo. All right, little by little. Oh, shoot, I've got a little typo, you guys. Please forgive me. I'm sorry. Save and invest consistently instead of waiting for the big break.
Yeah.
That was us, y'all.
That big break's coming. Boy.
That was us all day long. We gonna get that thing in contract, right? You gonna sing, I'm gonna rap, we gonna.
And then the next thing you know, you're 60 years old.
Exactly. Still talking about you gonna get that. I'm making some beats, yo. I'm making some beats.
I can still move like Michael Jackson.
All right. So your goal is to consume only 80% of what you earn. When we say consume, that means spend only 80% of what you earn. All right. Tiny investments compound. The other little by little is you want to start consistently creating financial transformations little by little. Okay. Because little changes compound. Okay. Number 4, Ubuntu economics.
I am because we are.
Use money in ways that strengthen people, strengthen relationships and community. All right. So the key to here is that money should not create isolation. Money should create connections. Money should create connections, not isolations. Community is what I meant to say, right? Support businesses and systems aligned with your values, right?
Yeah.
That's where I had it. Making tiny incremental financial improvements over time. Small changes avoid resistance and have a compound effect over time.
Yeah, and build wealth that benefits more than just yourself.
Exactly. All right, let's keep it going. Number 5, Sankofa purpose spending.
So use money in alignment with your deeper mission and future legacy.
Right? Ask, what kind of life am I building?
Yeah. Spend towards freedom, not appearances.
I'm sorry. What'd you say?
Spend towards freedom, not appearances.
All right. If you only spend with purpose, right? It's hard for you to spend money on nonsense if you know that every single dime has a job. Every single dime is going to be spent with purpose, right? With a mission, with legacy, right? The mission could be vacation, y'all. Okay. The mission could be vacation, but then there's got to be a deeper mission and a future legacy as well, right? Because we want to prioritize peace. We want to prioritize health. We want to prioritize the thing that you cannot buy more of, and that's time. So we've got to change the way we spend and be very purposeful about it. Number 6, Ujamaa ownership.
Cooperative economics. So keep and maintain what you own instead of consistently upgrading.
Hello.
Repair something instead of replacing it.
Right.
You know?
Think about the beautiful art creations by that Japanese technique called, what is it? Kintsugi? Is that how you pronounce it? You know what I'm talking about. When they like repair a vase with gold, with, you know, with the stuff with gold plates in it and stuff like that. And they create all these gold veins, right? We have to start thinking differently, y'all. Repair instead of replace. You can make art with the repair. Could have more value in the end. Share ownership where practical. Like if I could tell 20-year-old me something from what I know now, I would not have my own car. I would form like a LLC with my friends that all worked and lived. We would plan this. So we worked and lived, and we would share a car because you're not using it 80 to 90% of the time, right? And we can all pay the bill and all reap the benefits, all pay for y'all. I think that may seem crazy to you. Yeah. But I think they got us into this consumer mindset, and we need to think differently. We need to think differently. Number 7, Milwaukee reset.
Yearly renewal. So, do an annual financial review. Cancel unused subscriptions. Reevaluate your goals. Audit your spending and investments.
Right? Simplify your systems. Wealth requires maintenance, y'all. Okay. It requires maintenance. It requires recalibration. All right. And so that's why you want to do your yearly renewal. That's in Waka reset. Okay. Number 8, Akiba first. My cousin's name is Akiba. Savings reserve. Pay yourself before paying the world. Hello. All right. I've said this week after week after week, and I'm going to say it again. I never understood what that meant. Pay yourself first. I never understood what that meant. How do you do that? How do you pay yourself first? I like thinking about it is putting away money for future me first. So I take care of future me before I take care of anything else. I make sure that Halisi 10 years from now is going to be okay. So right off the top, whatever number that I've decided, 10%, 20%, 30%, we were saving 65% right off the top. We invested before we spent on any kind of lifestyle nonsense, right? Savings was like a utility bill, right? Saving and investing was like internet, cell phone. It wasn't an option, and it cannot be an option. Security comes from reserves. Security comes from having a margin. All right, number 9, a silly leaving.
Natural, original way of being. Build a joyful life that is not dependent on constant consumption.
Right? How about doing things that you like to do that are free? Right? Taking a hike. We have this huge natural park with bits of manicured, places to have picnics and barbecues and all of that stuff with gazebos and whatnot. It's huge. We can count the amount of times we've been there on one hand. And this is our 5th summer, y'all. And it's gorgeous and it's huge. Y'all, we don't always have to be paying to have fun.
No, you don't.
Right? Prioritize relationships, prioritize experiences, prioritize hanging out. You don't have to go out to dinner. You guys can have a potluck, right? You don't have to go out to Dave & Buster's. Let's have a game night, right? We don't have to go out to the movies. Let's bring some movies over, or all, chip in for a Netflix or a Prime or whatever and just hang out. I can bring my own popcorn. I can bring my own M&Ms.
Yeah.
Last but not least, excuse me, Tafakari reflection.
Deep reflection. Regularly examine your financial behavior honestly and without shame.
Okay. What we're not going to do is continually beat up on ourselves. Okay. We are Black folks. And I don't even care whether you're from United States or not. If you are a Black person living in 2026, there's enough other people who think they have power over you beating you up enough. You don't need to beat up yourself. Okay. So when we review, let's celebrate the wins, right? Let's do that part. And let's look at the mistakes and then adjust. All right. Without the drama, without beating ourselves up, without the shame. All right. Self-awareness is all we need. And that's what creates long-term growth. So what did you think about our principles, y'all? Let us know if you're watching from the future. Hey, so we put that together and then we worked to come up with some principles from the continent. You see, we showed you where those names and the words and everything came from which country, because you know we're mescla, we're mixtures of the continent and other places as well. What do you think, Ailey?
I love this. I definitely am sharing it with my daughter because she's been talking to me lately and she's aware of what she needs. I'm definitely sharing this with her because some of these things I'm already doing. I journal every day.
Good.
From my finances, you know why, with what I do, but I also journal personally and I journal what I do for my personal account too as well. So keeping notes helps me to know what I have accomplished and checked off the list. And then I knew about the pay yourself first. That every time I get some money out, I at least give myself 10, 5, something that I'm putting into a savings that I paid me out of what I've got. So I love this. I love this. It's really, really a good thing that I know I can implement by checking it off and seeing what I am not doing. So thank you. Thank you, Alicia and Rick. Y'all really are smart and nice. Oh gosh.
Thank you. Thank you.
So look, we're not saying give up. We're saying stop waiting for America to become something it has never been. Stop building your entire life around the assumption that the system will eventually protect you.
Build options.
Build community.
Build global connections.
Build utopias.
Whether that's abroad, right? Whether that's in Africa or Latin America or Asia or through your money, your business, your networks, right? This moment requires a mental revolution. All right. So put this in the chat. What does your personal utopia look like? And what is one step you can take this year to get closer to it? Thank you, family. Put this, if you're watching from the future, put it in the comments. I want to see what you all are putting in the live chat. Okay. We have our meetup coming up. We still have the wait list open for our next cohort of the Side Hustle Challenge. If bringing in money is the thing that is keeping you from building your utopia, we can teach you how to create income streams, y'all. Seriously, making money is just simply not that hard. It really isn't. And once you know the formula, and there is a formula, okay? So Side Hustle Challenge cohort starts July, second week in July. Okay, get on the waiting list, and those that we will start making seats available very, very soon. In the meantime, in between time, Beyond the Bling is our financial freedom program for late bloomers just like ourselves. All right, that is going on all the time. It's ongoing, and it comes with monthly group coaching, just like the Side Hustle Challenge does. Side Hustle Challenge for a year, Beyond the Bling ongoing. All right. What else do we got? We got the Move Abroad Toolkit,
Yes.
Ready to Retire Toolkit. We got free stuff for y'all. All right. The Scouting Trip Checklist. That's new. Ready to Retire, all redone. All that stuff is redone, y'all.
Yeah.
All redone. Okay.
And we do have our merch store open, you know.
Right.
I mean, check this out. Embroidered hats with
our Sankofa bird on the back. That's right. Isn't that cool? And so I got my hat too. I don't have it on right now. Is over there. I had to get it all cute for y'all, but I'll be wearing it on my walk and stuff. You see, we've got shirts. We've got
different color hats.
We've got long sleeve shirts. We've got sweatshirts and hoodies. Y'all asked, so we delivered. We're working with JRS Graphics. It's a Black couple that lives here in Portugal, and they used to do this in the United States. And we're like, look, let's work together because I'm tired. I can't do all this. We got the Utopians keep asking, we want merch. And I'm like, mama tired. So we found a way to get it done. And Action VJ just put it in the chat. All right, I think we did it. You guys get the money principles. Share the link with your family. Share the link with your friends. Sometimes it's just a little nudge because this time ain't like the last time, y'all. Okay. There's two things that are going on. One, America is in decline. See, it wasn't in decline before. So they're more desperate. But since it's in decline, that's going to be worse for us as well, both economically, socially, and otherwise. Desperate people are dangerous. Stupid, desperate people are really, really dangerous. Okay. And we ain't got time for that. All right. So we've got to start working together in our communities collectively, teaching each other, each one reach one, teach one, right? Teaching each other how we can mitigate risk and immunize ourselves from white supremacy nonsense. We love y'all. We love y'all, and we will see you on what's today? We'll see you on Sunday.
Yeah.
We'll see you on Sunday as we get closer to our meetup, y'all. I don't know. We've got about 112 people coming. I am so excited. So 112 people coming. All of the extra stuff for the most part is sold out, y'all. We still have tickets for the meetup itself. And I think Nisa's Lounge, we're all going to see some R&B jazz and stuff like that. I think they still have tickets. I think there's still tickets available for the Afro Flavors tour, but everything else is sold out. Everything else. Y'all, the Juneteenth, the River Cruise, that was 80 people right there, sold out. Naki's tour, that was 80 people, sold out. So we're gonna have fun. I hope if you are not coming this year, you must make plans to come next year. Okay, you must make plans to come next year. We do it every single year during the Juneteenth week. Okay, you don't have to be wanting to move to Portugal.
No.
One thing you can be assured is that 90% of the people who you will meet are also trying to move abroad somewhere. And so we get in community in this WhatsApp group and we be helping each other out, giving each other resources and everything else. Y'all let them know in the chat. I ain't lying. Let them know. All right, you guys. We'll see you on Sunday. We love you guys. Bye.
Not a dream, a destination. Our Black Utopia.